7 a.m. The alarm clock pierces the silence, a cold, mechanical intrusion pulling you back from the depths of unconsciousness. You know exactly what you should do. You should throw back the covers, lace up your shoes, and head to the gym. You know that the best version of yourself is waiting on the other side of that effort. But right now, your bed feels like the safest, warmest sanctuary on the planet. It is a protective cocoon against the biting reality of the outside world. This where the negotiation begins. Your brain, a master negotiator with millions of years of evolutionary experience, starts presenting an incredibly persuasive closing argument for staying under the covers. Just 5 more minutes, you're exhausted, one day won't kill you, you'll work twice as hard tomorrow, today is for recovery. Does that internal dialogue sound familiar? If so, listen closely, there is nothing wrong with you. You aren't lazy and you don't lack willpower. Your brain is simply doing exactly what it was evolved to do, avoiding discomfort and conserving energy. This 7 a.m. negotiation is a microcosm of the new year, new me illusion that traps millions. On the first of the month, or the start of a new quarter, people wake up with a fleeting optimism that the mere turning of a calendar page will transform them. They write massive manifestos, lose 20 pounds, learn 3 languages, build 2 businesses. But 2 weeks later, they are back at the starting line, crushed by a heavy sense of guilt. Why? Because they tried to change using motivation. Motivation is a cheap stimulant. It hits fast and evaporates even faster. It's a temporary chemical reaction, not a structural foundation. You cannot build an empire on the shifting sands of a mood. Real change isn't about motivation. It's about redesigning the rules of your environment and your mind so that the right behavior becomes the path of least resistance. This isn't a list of hacks. This is a deep dive into the neurological machinery of doing hard things. The anatomy of resistance, why your brain fights you. To master the difficult, you must realize that resistance isn't a random annoyance. It is an ultimate defense mechanism designed to keep you in your current state. To your primitive brain, the current state, no matter how stagnant or suboptimal, is safe because it is known. This resistance operates through 2 lethal mechanisms. First, the emotional trap of magnitude. Your brain doesn't evaluate a task with logic. It evaluates it by the intensity of the emotion the task triggers. The bigger the task looks, the stronger the negative emotion and the higher the resistance. This isn't a flaw, it's a legacy of the prehistoric era. To our ancestors, a massive task, like hunting a mammoth, meant a high risk of death. The center of this system is the amygdala. It detects danger and triggers the fight, flight, or freeze response. The problem is that in the modern era, the amygdala still uses that ancient logic. It cannot distinguish between a predator and the psychological threat of writing a 3,000-word report. When you tell yourself, "I need to clean the entire house," your brain sees a mountain of exhaustion. Its response is paralysis and avoidance. But when you say, "I'll just wash one plate," the brain calculates a low energy cost and low risk. It grants you permission to start. Second, the prison of identity. The second form of resistance is more insidious. It stems from the story you tell yourself, your ego. If you believe you are a smart person, you will unconsciously avoid challenges where you might fail because failure would prove the smart story is a lie. Your brain would rather you procrastinate than have you fail while trying your hardest, which would be a direct attack on your self-worth. If you believe you aren't creative, you feel resistance the moment you pick up a pen. It's not fear of a bad drawing, it's your brain protecting your old identity. If you believe you're a perfectionist, you never start because the first draft is guaranteed to be imperfect. The willpower fallacy. Willpower is like a phone battery. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist drains that battery. By mid-afternoon, the battery is dead. That's when you surrender to bad habits and mindless scrolling. True change is about setting up a system where willpower is unnecessary. You don't need to win the war, you just need to change the rules of the game. 1. The 2-minute gateway. Trick your brain with a commitment so small it's impossible to fail. Don't write a book, write for 2 minutes. Instead of an hour at the gym, commit to one single push-up. 2. Friction zero preparation. Separate the act of preparing from the act of doing. Lay your clothes out by the bed. Open the document tab and leave your laptop in sleep mode instead of turning it off. 3. Dopamine sequencing. Small reward as bait, hard task, large reward as the closer. 4. Experience pairing. Only allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast while doing cardio. 5. The experimental mindset. Shift from performance mode to experiment mode. In an experiment, there is no wrong result, only data. 6. Identity recoding. Don't aim to read a book. Aim to become a reader. Every action is a vote for the person you want to be. 7. The eternal beginner. Protect yourself by actively claiming the status of a beginner. I'm not bad at this, I am learning this. Success is the result of a meticulously designed system that outmaneuvers your outdated survival instincts every single day. Put on those shoes, write that first sentence. Stop fighting yourself, start building the system.